All right, and welcome everybody to a very special edition of Shadow City Mysteries House of Skye, where we go one-on-one and behind the scenes with our favorite characters, which is all of them, right?
They're all fabulous.
Yeah,
All of
exactly.
them.
All of them. So today we're stepping behind the scenes with Katie Downey, and I'll let Katie introduce herself.
Hi, I am Katie Downey, aka Goblin Katie. I am a TTRPG and variety streamer and ginger shenanigator.
Ginger Shenanigator. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, and
I,
I play Quinn Copperpaw. I should probably say who I play. I play Quinn Copperpaw, who is
but
a
it's
heavy on
yeah.
Shadow City Mysteries. She's
This,
they're up
yeah,
there.
we'll be going. It's actually reversed on mine, but who knows when this actually goes up? I never know which
Oh
direction
wait,
to
that
actually
way.
point. It's supposedly. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So yeah, we're gonna delve a little deeper. We've done 2 sessions of these so far. On we did one on Friday and one on Saturday. Now this is Monday evening. And tomorrow is our normally scheduled show. So
Mhm.
if you're wondering where's the the rest of the House of Sky, that'll be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time. But tonight we're delving a little deeper with Katie, and then later on we'll dive in with Mandy about Raven. But let's hear some let's dish. Let's spill some tea here.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Uh,
I'll make some stuff up. It'll be really good.
it's really good, exactly. So we did these sessions before we started, and
Mhm.
I think not everybody necessarily knew what they were getting themselves into necessarily. I mean, a little bit, but not and we made some predictions kind of where we were going with the characters and what we thought they were going
Mhm.
to be like and everything like that. But now that
I
we're
was wrong.
I think everyone was. So now that we've been playing your character for like, we've been over 13 sessions. How has your
Yeah.
character evolved differently than you originally imagined? Quinn
Uh,
Copperpaw.
Quinn is a lot more forward, I think, than I expected them to be. They're a lot more jovial and sort of engaged than I initially expected them to be. It's one of those things where, like, you start playing the character
Hmm.
and the character goes, "No, no, I'm this person."
Yeah,
And
okay.
so I've just kind of rolled with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really do like them though. I
Mhm.
have a lot of fun with them, and I think the dynamics between them and the other members of the party are fun. So
Yeah. And I think that's part of it, right? Is Quinn evolved to fill kind of a role and a space within the party
yeah.
that, some people are filling in the other parts and those things
Mhm.
that you kind of talked about being kind of behind back a little bit, and then
Yeah.
Quinn fills that empty space.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's the best. Yeah, cool. And so, what has surprised you the most about the game?
Um, honestly, and it's small and kind of silly, remembering color doesn't exist. That is you realize how much we rely on it for identification and things like that. And when you don't have that, it's a shock because so much of our everyday life involves color. When you take that out, it's really strange. Um, that and the city, I really like the setting because
Mhm.
it's gritty and it's different, and um, the characters we run into feel very human.
Hmm.
Like, you can definitely tell that, the NPCs have things going on under the surface, and
Sure.
that makes me really excited because Katie is a nosy person. So, I'm like, "Ooh."
Yeah, no,
It
definitely.
makes
I
me
mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, hitting on the color thing always throws folks off,
yeah,
right? Like we were, we did our first behind the scenes session. We were discussing, the
yeah,
orange, right? Like,
yeah.
well,
How
maybe
do you
it's
know
an
what
orange.
that is? Is it
Exactly.
still called an orange? Do they know what orange meant?
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
then the idea is like, how do you describe things to someone who's never seen it before, right? And
yeah,
we talked with some of the other players and about their characters and the fact of the lack of color, but the fact that color did exist at one point
yeah,
in time, and
and
then
it's lost.
and it's lost, and people occasionally see, like, that makes the moments when color does happen that much more interesting, right? And
Yeah.
so, we have the metallics in the world, and everybody understands that, and that's
Yeah.
explained by science.
Mhm.
Science. But like purple is our danger color, right?
Yes.
That most people are familiar with, because that's more prevalent of, yeah, exactly, of all
Yes.
the colors that are there. But other colors do pop up occasionally, right? And so it'll be interesting when they do, how the players react and how everything goes on. But it is tricky. It's always being careful, like when you're describing things, like,
You have to stay aware of it.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
even I mess up occasionally. I'm like, well, it's definitely not. You could use
Yeah.
that word, but it's the dark blotches instead of whatever, right? So,
Exactly. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and as far as the characters are going, yeah, I agree. I mean, I pull very heavily in the setting for the noir tropes, right? And so,
Mhm.
everybody kind of has a name that's attached to them as like
Yeah.
thematic, right? The femme
Yeah.
fatale, the
I
politician, the whatever, and then you
yeah.
build from that.
I loved, there was an NPC that got brought up, and I wanna say I don't have my notes, but I wanna say it was like the Tooth was his name or the Fang or something like that.
Blacktooth, Blacktooth,
Yes. I
yeah,
love that.
yeah, yeah. They all
I
have,
saw that, I was like, "Oh, I wanna meet them."
yeah. I usually always start with those kind of things, right? To add kind
Yeah.
of character, and then from there, I'm able to, like, once I know what their trope is, I'm able to build out who
Yeah.
they are a
Yeah.
little bit. Like even the nosy neighbor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the nosy neighbor. We've now adopted the
Agna.
nosy neighbor. If we've now adopted the nosy neighbor,
I
right?
love Agna.
I mean, straight up her inspiration was from the scene at the very beginning of the professional, when the
Yes.
little old lady pops out and goes, "Why don't you leave that that little family alone? They're not harming anybody." And Gary Oldman shoots the gun above her head.
Yeah.
"Why don't you go back inside?" Right.
Inside.
So, that's why they
That
have a little bit of
tracks.
life too. Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit of life, a little bit of life to them, right? So would you say you're enjoying most of about Shadow City Mysteries?
I really I play so many high fantasy games. The idea that magic is not the
The norm?
ever-present thing in the game has been really interesting. Like, I've played other things like, Cyberpunk and games
Yeah.
where, it's not necessarily a core aspect of the game.
Mhm.
And so it's been really fun because I always play a character that has some sort of magic too.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so just being a straight fighter is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying that. I'm looking forward to getting in a combat where I get to use some of the abilities that you guys came up with, because some
We
of
are
them are
too.
really, really cool.
No, and they play really well
Yeah.
strategically together once you all start to figure out your dynamics and
Yeah,
everything. I
yeah,
mean, one of the things I've chatted with the other players as we've gone through is, milestoning to the second level was just you had one combat and a little
yeah.
bit of interaction. Milestoning the third, now you've had another combat or whatever. Going forward, right? To get to four, you'll probably have a couple
Mhm.
combats in between. So there's gonna be more uses of combat
Yeah,
between the different
yeah.
the different tiers. But so yeah, definitely expect more usage of that, especially as I get more comfortable
Yeah.
with running 5e as well, and learning
Yep,
our own
yeah.
rules that we've created that are totally different sometimes, right?
I
Because
I discovered last night that there are many rules from the 2024 edition that I do not know.
yeah,
So, I'm
yeah,
going
we have
back
to
and
take a,
rereading myself.
I think that's everybody though, right? You
Yeah.
even see some of the top tier GMs out there that are like,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh, that changed in this edition," and so
Yeah.
yeah,
A
it's a
lot of
good
the
mix.
changes are good, though, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the
But,
good news is I don't even know the 2014 rules, so
yeah,
really, I'm a blank slate. It's really good.
that's
All those
nice.
books back there are not rules heavy games. They're all
Yeah,
narrative
yeah.
games. So yeah, that's my style of play, and you'll see more of that as it goes along. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing all that go into play
That and
as
the
well.
character relationships. Watching people sort of bouncing off each other and how they interact with each other
Mhm.
has been really interesting. I love the dynamic between Quinn and Reggie.
Sure,
It
sure.
it
That keeps growing.
cracks me up.
It does. It does. So
Plus,
that goes about.
Ariel's super fun to do that kind of thing with, so
Yeah, well, she's a good she's yeah, she takes it
yeah.
all in stride, right?
Mhm.
So that takes me to the next. What do you enjoy the most about Shadow City Mysteries? Is it the character interactions, or is it
I
other
think it's the
things? Like,
character
what's
interaction. Yeah.
yeah.
It's for this stream or for the game in general, because game in general would be the lack of magic and stuff. For this particular stream, it's
Hmm.
absolutely, no offense for story wise, but at this point, it is absolutely the character
Well,
interactions, and that includes the NPCs.
oh,
So
sure. Well, you have
yeah,
to fill in the space somehow, right? No,
yeah, yeah,
that's definitely true. Yeah, the lack of magic is just it's a necessity, right? It's
yeah,
we the thing is that the idea is the first 6 levels are more street level,
yeah,
right? But even levels 7 through 13 is still it's just more conspiracy, right?
yeah,
So there's hints of the supernatural, and you'll get a little
yeah.
touch of it in the base level, but then it's not until we get 14th level and higher that
Right. Once you start uncovering mysteries.
it's all that stuff, you start to realize like, oh, there's magic in this world,
Yeah,
and oh, it's there's reasons why it shouldn't be that prevalent. So
yeah.
yeah, cool stuff. And so, what do you say? What are you hoping to see more of in House of Skye? When I ask this question, I ask this because I like to know as a the GM,
Yeah.
what engages you, and what would you like to see more of, so I can make sure to put more of that on screen for you all.
I really like the little impromptu moments, honestly. Like Agna, um, I love Eston's personality. I am dying to uncover his history because I want to know more about him. So that's probably the biggest one. I want to know more about Eston.
All right. Well, that's there's lots to know. So
Yeah,
there's that's good. That's good. He's your patron, so therefore
yeah,
you have
it works.
almost unlimited access to that individual.
And then I'm looking forward to Patinaed Wasp involvement.
Yes, yeah, more stuff with that.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, the context we are still very essential, and we haven't played up as much.
Yeah.
But I think getting put more of the usage of everyone's
Yeah.
contacts
Yeah.
would be super dope for sure. Yeah. looking forward to for getting getting everybody on board with those.
And hopefully I haven't called the Inquisitors. So
That's TBD.
I'm sure it's fine.
Sure, it's fine.
I'm just a heretic. It's fine.
It's fine. No, it's discussing this with some of the other players that are like, I know I think I know what Quinn was doing there, but I don't think it's going to have the effect that Quinn's expecting. It's like when you draw the hornet nest, you still rile the hornet's nest, right?
Yeah.
It's still going to sting everybody. It doesn't actually give a shit who did it. So
I feel like in that moment, Quinn wasn't even thinking about that.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think you just got bristly, and you were
100%.
like, how do I draw him towards me? And then you weren't realizing that like they didn't care. They're like,
their plan was originally that it was, we can get checked out. That's not a big deal. And then everyone was like, oh. And so Quinn tried to backpedal and say, well, you can check me out. Yeah. And then Sister, what was her name? Sister?
Sparrow? Sister
Sparrow. Yeah, Sister Sparrow was like, oh no, we'll come in and see everybody. So like, oh, that's
Or did you mean Sister Grace? Because later on, Sister Grace.
Sister Grace. It was Sister Grace.
Yeah. Sister Grace. Yeah.
And I was just like, oh no.
I was gonna say, because I was like, I don't think Sparrow really said anything.
No.
But
But I mean, Quinn has a history with the church.
Yeah, no, exactly.
A little bit of bitterness there. So
100%. Yeah.
They weren't necessarily thinking rationally at the time. And they're not much of a thinker. So
well, yeah.
It's just a perfect storm.
Perfect storm, exactly. So we're gonna flip the script for a moment. I've let all the players ask a couple questions just to kind of let's see behind the screen maybe on that I could answer, and maybe even give our viewers a little bit more idea of like whatever you want to know about
Absolutely.
Mysteries.
Yeah, give me just a second. I'm pulling up my questions. Okay, where is it? It might be faster for me to do it on my phone. Sorry.
If I was standing, I would be doing a little soft shoe action right now, just to keep
vamp.
keep it moving. and so forth. Yeah.
No, I know one of them was I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you about when you have been creating
Mhm.
this world,
Yep.
what has been your favorite part of doing that? What
Oof.
aspect of the game has been your favorite?
My favorite part of it is filling in the world of the personalities, the people that you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like the different aspects of it. When we originally, I mean, I have to take a step back and say, like, when we originally were starting Shadow City Mysteries, Shadow City Mysteries was the first product within Shadow City Mysteries was much bigger and more ambitious.
Mhm.
But it was something that we realized we weren't going to be able to tackle right away. And
Right.
so we had always knew we were going to do tabletop RPG. We always knew we were going to do samplings of other smaller narrative transmedia products that go along with it. And so the trickier part came in is we had to pivot to doing the tabletop RPG. So the tabletop RPG was supposed to come after we had already created a little world and left a lot
Mhm.
of empty space to be filled in, right? And so, and now the fun part is that over the last year and a half or so, we've been filling in a lot of the blank spaces that we thought we were going to have more time. We're going to have maybe a little bit more established by other
Mhm.
anchor points, and those anchor points weren't there, so we had to move into kind of filling it in. So the cool thing is, and the exciting thing is seeing all those things come to life. And it comes to life naturally on its own, right?
Yeah.
Like when I had an idea for a character, the characters come to me, and then I go, "Oh yeah, you need to be in this world." And then, "Oh yeah, you need to be in this world."
Yeah.
And that's been a ton of fun. Originally it was just, I mean, the character that hasn't even come on screen and won't come on screen, just because they're the like primary protagonist of our bigger project is Nyla
Yeah.
Nightingale. But for Nyla Nightingale, the premise of the game was that there are 6 factions, and so the factions were always kind of a core part, and so they've kind of
Mhm.
been built out. Um, and what I love about the factions is they really do represent very tangible, very different ways of how people survive in a world like this,
Yeah.
and how people approach it. And so
It was
because we
surprisingly hard to pick a faction 'cause
Yeah, no, well, they're all pretty engaging,
yeah.
right? Like, and you can see why they exist in the
Yeah.
world, right?
Mhm.
Uh, and the thing that I like is that we don't, because we ended up bolting on to 5e. We
Mhm.
didn't use race, right? We got rid of races.
Yeah.
We just have humans, which is great. So the great thing is we don't have all the baggage that comes along with that, and also the
Yeah.
negative connotations that come with it too, right?
Yeah.
So we're able to kind of lean in more into the tropes and the things that you kind of expect of a criminal organization,
Mhm.
of the haughty rich, of a cult, of a church, of
Yeah.
the union, and the workers, and then also the gig workers, and then like how they exist in a city like this and how they survive and get by.
Mhm.
And then that gives them all a little bit more personality. So even the factions have personality. And then
Yeah.
what's been great is that as we work on the subclasses, is that I mean, we have 2 infiltrators in our team, and both of them, because of the factions they're in and because of the subclasses they'll pick up, will actually play very, very differently
Yeah.
than each other, and they can kind of coexist. And because we're not as combat heavy, we're not
Mhm.
as worried about the distribution of like roles on the
Yeah. Yeah.
battlefield and everything like that. So that works out really well. So yeah, no, I
That has been really interesting seeing how different 2 infiltrators can
yeah,
be in the same party. That's been really I was a little nervous about it
sure.
initially.
You always worry that people are going to step
Yeah.
on each other's toes, and
Yeah,
nobody's going
somebody's
to
not
have
gonna
their
have
moment.
fun but they're both so different.
Very different, and
They
it's
they
it's
fill
it,
different roles.
and when you and now that Reggie's stepping into the counterweight, and Raven's
Mhm.
stepping into the thread cutter, they're
Mhm.
they're very
Oh, yeah.
different in what they do and what their
Yeah.
intentions are in the world. So no, it's great. Oh,
I'm doing
what
good.
else you got for me?
Doing good. Second question, what do you think has been the biggest challenge in creating a new setting?
The new challenge is creating a new set. I like creating settings, so I actually I don't find it too challenging. So for me, creating worlds, I think it's I say the good thing is we went so with Shadow City Mysteries, we leaned into noir, and so that means
Mhm.
we get to lean into tropes a lot, right? Noir
Yeah.
tropes and things like that. And the fact that we added in a little bit of we have the clockwork aspect as well, right? So we kind of get cyberpunk without it. So now we have we have what we call clockwork noir. So it's not neo noir, whatever. It's noir. We have it. We get to pull into the grittiness of original noir, but still get a little bit of the technology that's built in there. I think the biggest challenge for me, and it's not as a challenge, it's actually more of a challenge for my team, I think, is that trying to extract all the ideas that I have in my head.
Yeah.
And get them into the world. Yeah, because I have a lot of things going on sometimes, and I don't know. Now the great thing is that my team is incredible, and I've also known them and worked with them for over 20 years, right? So Steven and Brandis really get me, and that works because I can just say a couple things and I let Steven or Brandis run with it, and I get exactly what I'm thinking, or for the most part, pretty darn close. I only need to be like, oh, that wasn't exactly where I was going. Slight
tweaks.
Yeah. But the thing is, as a creative, at least as being a leader of creatives for a really long time, I know there's some that are just like, this is my vision, this has to be 100%. And for me, I've always liked the collaborative creative. So for me, I try to just say, like, these are my guidelines, or these are the posts at which I think we're going for, and then you fill it in with what you want to, and that's why I've really liked that, and I've also liked the fact that we're doing an actual play is actually, to be honest, is actually the world's real first view of the game, other than when we did the backer kit and kind of introduced this, and we have our Steam pages and stuff like that. So there's hints of what the world is, but working with all of you as the players, it's tricky though, right? We do need I need to kind of guide you all a little bit, because I can't let you go too far outside the realm of where we want it to be, because again, we are setting the tone for how other people will view. So I think that actually is the most challenging part, right? Is communicating to you all, and you're only getting like a very limited, because I can't give you all the background that Steven and Brandis and I have, right? But giving you enough that you can run with it and just pull you back just a little bit if you go in a direction where like,
maybe not that way.
Not what we were intending there, right? So yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Whoa! Did
I bumped my desk, and
oh no, we're all good. We didn't see any of that.
Oh, good. Okay.
So yeah. Cool. So before we dive into Quinn's spa day, we want to take a walkthrough of Quinn and what abilities they've had, and had and what they're going to be moving towards and everything like that. So we're gonna dive here. We're gonna flip here. Let's make sure I don't lose anybody, and nobody's lost. All right, good.
Yay!
Yeah, I got it right. Okay. So the first up is your one of your faction abilities, right? It's your protected. So has that? I mean, we haven't used it too much.
No, I've made sure on a couple occasions when we're walking through kind of dicey areas to note that I'm making sure my tattoo is visible. I really like this ability, simply because it includes the thing that if someone is after you, they're after you. Specifically, that you're not gonna get like hit by a random encounter of thugs or people from Court of Rats. It's not gonna happen. And I think there was also something about
you get advantage on convincing criminals to leave you and your allies alone.
Non-court, that's where it was.
Non-court,
So although my intimidation rolls have been kind of hit or miss, I think that
you had one wonky one at the docks, but
I think I ended up sneezing or something.
Sneezing, So, it happens. Not everybody's on their A game every day. Right?
But I mean, that's a great ability.
Yeah, and then this one's fun. Keep a clear head, right? And actually, we've been talking about how these very special episodes has not had a lot of drug talk in it, but here we go. We got drugs here. So
I got you drugs, baby.
So the ability to resist poison damage, which hasn't come up yet, but may definitely come up more. And you gain saving throws to avoid or end the poison condition. It was pretty dope. Advantage is always handy.
I want to try to get the party into a drinking contest.
Oh, so where you could use this and then
Yes.
yeah. I think that's good. I would support that 100%.
And if y'all are watching, you didn't see this.
They don't watch. Like nobody's watching each other's thing, which is great because we had some really good. I've had some really good reveals with each of the characters, and I don't think the other players are going to watch it. So
yeah,
their secrets.
I try not to watch the background stuff for the players because I'm worried that I'll forget what I know out of game versus what I know in game. But I'm looking forward to at some point sitting down and watching all the behind the scenes because I love these folks. Like most of you I've LARPed with.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's true.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, we were discussing that. I know everyone at the table. And then bits and pieces, people know there's a little overlap. About like 2/3 of the table is overlapped in some way, shape, or form. Like Matt
meeting other Matt and Mandy has been awesome. They are
they're childhood friends of mine. So and Matt Walsh was actually one of the first people I ever tabletopped with back in the day.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I never got to tabletop with Mandy, but we stayed in touch. So it was cool to be able to bring her to the table as well. So like literally everybody at the table I've known and play games with for the most part in some way, shape, or form. So that's actually been a really awesome part about this whole experience as well. So grease the right palms, which you have been able to use, right? So you can spend a little of your hard-earned money. Oh yeah, that's the wrong.
I think it's
thing.
$20 is
it's $20.
Oh yeah.
No, we're not. I just realized.
Yeah, you want me to read it? I've got it pulled up.
Yeah, we could do that. Well, yeah, you pay $20.
The right palms. Each time you use the glad handing activity, you may spend $20 to add an additional 1d6 to your total progress generated.
That's pretty cool.
Basically, I can pay money to have a better chance, and I love it.
Yeah, and the influence system has been coming up more and more, and it will continue to because it's kind of a key piece to it, right?
Yeah.
And then we have our self-reliance feat, which comes from your orphan background. So advantage on death saving throws, which that's actually really, really good. You haven't been one of the people who've really needed it.
I've avoided most of the fighting.
But most of the other team have needed this on it's really sad considering we've only had two combats and the team keeps going down pretty hard, but it's all right. That's all right. You're getting there. You're all getting there.
Worst team thug ever.
Yeah. It's crazy. And you have advantage on crafting checks to repair items worth that's the crafting is also like, so we have the influence system, we have the crafting system, the big ones. And of course you get a skill proficiency. So your first heavy ability is Know You Move. So yeah, you haven't used the shove too much. You did once, I think, once or twice, right?
I used it once while fighting the rats in the basement.
With fighting the rats, yeah.
Which I felt very conflicted about fighting rats. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Conflicted, yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, everybody. I mean, when I alluded to you would have to remove rats from the basement, everybody thought that I was meaning it would be quarter rats. So I was like,
yeah, which is fair.
Which is, I mean, it is fair. So yeah, so this is cool. It hasn't come up yet, but may come up soon. When an influence project loses progress due to actions of your enemies, you can spend glad handing period to gain half of the lost progress. So, yeah, that's if this was projects up and down, they've been only going up for y'all, but that's because not you guys kind of hit the ground running and started doing it. But the longer you take on projects, gives opportunities for your enemies or those that want to work against you to start moving them the other direction. So that's why waiting too long to finish an influence project can also can extend the time even further by people working against you. Adrenaline. This is your kind of your key ability for the heavy. Everybody kind of gets points in some way, shape, or form as a class, and yours is adrenaline, which comes when you take damage. So that's pretty handy.
I should start doing that.
Well, that's kind of the intent is for you to take damage, and not your family members. And then right now you can get additional hit point or temporary hit points by spending adrenaline, but there's other ways to spend adrenaline as you move forward. Oh, and you can also spend 2 to reroll damage roll, which is pretty dope. strength check, and strength saving throw. So not too bad. We just haven't had a lot of
shabby.
strength stuff. Yeah. And you haven't rolled a lot of damage. So that'd be another reason to. And then adrenaline surge was you got at second level. So another way to spend your adrenaline points, which allow you to, as a bonus action, dash, disengage, or dodge. So not bad either.
Pretty nice. Frankly, that's really nice for a fighter to have.
Well, and you also and then yeah, fighter to get the ability to dash, disengage, and dodge is cool because it's not always a thing available to them. And
dash
then if you get
dodge.
five adrenaline, yeah, dash. If you have at least 5 adrenaline points, you get an extra action before you actually get your extra action. So this is a way for you to do a little bit more damage.
Be extra scary.
Extra scary. And then as a wrecker, you get advantage on strength-based attacks and damage object. Oh yeah, for fighting objects.
I have to like break down a door or something like that, I'm guessing.
Mechanical things, stationary mechanical things, stuff like that. And then
I'll just smash it. Quinn, smash!
Yeah, and then for looking under furniture, I like this. Looking under furniture or heavy obstacles, like moving a refrigerator out of the way, right? And you're like, oh look, there's a thing.
When I first read this, I just had this image of Quinn reaching down with just a pinky and lifting a sofa, like cartoonishly, just lifting the sofa with their pinky and being like, nope, and setting it
100% that's the intent. 100% that's the intent. So, yeah. And cheap shot, which is now what you're going to be moving into. So you're going to be getting the opportunity to do some pretty cool things with your adrenaline, specifically because of being a thug. Because I'm a thug of the Court of Rats. Yeah. So you get a couple different options. So what is that there? So they have to make a saving throw against you, which is 8 plus your strength and proficiencies. That's actually pretty good. And you can either do a gut strike, which is attack and deals bludgeoning damage. So you punch them in the gut. And then
they don't get a reaction till their next turn.
Yeah. So that's kind of.
Oh, they get to take a action or a bonus action, but not both.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. You basically, I don't know if you've ever been punched in the gut, but that for sure is not fun, and definitely adds to the thing. And then deep cut is a way to do piercing and slashing damage, and then they take additional damage from bleeding at the start of each of their turns. So that's a nice one. And then the next one is eye shots. So they have to make a dex save or they're blinded until the start of your next turn. And then faint. Yeah. So you basically get to take another. As a bonus action, you get to try again. So
yeah,
not a
bad ability.
And then your other ability for being a thug, there's just a lot of stuff under that one ability.
Yeah,
is a proper brawl, right? So you get to do extra damage for each enemy that's adjacent to you. So that's great. So again, more encouragement to have people come at you.
Oh yeah.
And then
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, and then
I'm really excited about that one.
And your improvised weapons get to go up. What does it do that to me every single time? It's on a timer or some weird stuff. Anyway,
because it's lobsticant.
Yeah, well, it's because it's Canva and it doesn't like me. But anyway, but that's pretty cool. And I think you have a couple weapons now. You already had a couple weapons that were improvised weapons, so now they've gone up a die size, which is nice. No complaints there.
But I really enjoyed seeing that my straight razor now works like a long sword. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It makes for some good times. So
yeah.
So when we left our Quinn, we were left the family as a whole. Everyone was dispersing into their Wednesday evening to either get some more sleep or do whatever their regular duties are, or whatever, and get ready for their exciting spa day that Eston has promised everybody.
Yes.
And so with that, the next morning, whenever you decide to wake up, there's an envelope underneath your door, as per the last time you received an envelope, and it is addressed to you, and it's in Miss Dreadmire's very fancy writing. So,
okay. Quinn, as usual, wakes up very early. They do their little morning calisthenics, and then notice the note. And they go over, pick it up, and open it up.
Inside is the invoice, like last time, that says thank you for your contributions to the Skye household. It says, there's a mention of mechanical extermination, all the other duties that you guys have been doing, blah 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 blah. And then instead of like payment, it says allowance, and then it's $120, and then inside the envelope is $120.
All right.
And then also inside the yeah, it's not bad. Also inside the envelope is a note that you should go to the rat's nest, and meet with the Rat King.
Okay. Quinn will hire,
but not like there's no not like ASAP or anything.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's very like.
But I mean, it's the Rat King. When the Rat King calls, you answer.
Sure, but it's written by Miss Dreadmire. It's not like a note. Yeah.
Actually, I'll go find Miss Dreadmire.
Yeah. All right. She's ordering people around the household. Ignatus is nearby, kind of waiting.
Morning, Iggy.
He's reading
just
something.
Keep walking.
Yeah. He's reading this thing. And Miss Dreadmire is like, yes. Quinn, good morning.
Yeah. Morning. I had this note under my door saying that I needed to go see the Rat King. Do you have any idea what that's about?
Yes, Eston had sent a message to the Rat King that you needed that you've been doing such a great job here at the household and everything, and that they felt that perhaps you need a little bit more training, though, in certain things. So Eston said that your potential shines, and wanted to make a note to your boss.
Yeah.
And so upon hearing this, the Rat King has requested you to come to the rat's nest.
What the king requests, the king gets.
I suppose so. I mean, he did. It wasn't like he called me. He was somebody else calling and arranging the thing. But anyway.
Look, if he wants it, he gets it. That's my opinion.
Sure.
All right. Well, do you know if anyone's heading into town, or should
Hans has been driving folks in and out of the town, so she should be here to take you into the city when you need. Everyone's been leaving at different times in a vehicle. If it's still 30 minutes, but different people have been leaving at different times, so you're fine to catch whatever time you need to go in.
So. Yeah, sure. All right. Well, I'm gonna go put myself on the list and head down to town.
Yep. Hans is ready for you. You notice outside that even though yesterday morning. Yeah, it was just yesterday morning. Some of the Iron Union workers died.
Yeah.
They've been replaced with new Iron Union workers, and they're going about their business and working. Hans.
I didn't realize they had Class D personnel. That's good for them.
yeah, they're able to. Yeah,
sorry, SCP reference.
No, it's pretty true though. So they all go about their business. They see you. Hans sees you. He tips his hat and he gets in and starts the truck and assumes that you'll get in as well.
Yeah.
Hans has never opened a door for any of y'all. Just so you know.
Quinn wouldn't let him open their door regardless. So.
So Hans
'Cause
goes.
he's got a mystery wrapped around him.
Yeah, he's
Like
making
bacon.
wrapped around it. Exactly. It's like bacon wrapped sausages. You know?
Bacon wrapped mystery.
Indeed. So Hans good morning. Where are we heading?
Rat's Nest, if you don't mind.
Nope, not at all. And they heads into town.
Mhm.
He doesn't say anything. If you wish
Quinn
to
doesn't
have a
say
conversation,
anything.
all right. Then he just when it gets, it's just like after it reaches a certain point of awkward, he just goes and turns on the radio and lets some regular tunes play.
Okay.
Nothing too fancy. Probably just like our lo-fi.
Mhm.
Our night driving music we put on our intermission. No, it's
lo-fi. He's playing the lo-fi.
He plays in lo-fi. And he gets you there, and he goes, just call the house when you need to pick up, and then
Sure. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks.
He just, again, either reacts, doesn't react, whatever the case
Yeah.
is. He just tips his hat, and he goes off as the
Quinn tips theirs back.
Picks up the next batch of household members that need to go into the town. Amazingly, not everyone rides the town together this day. And so the Rat's Nest, it's Thursday morning. Yeah, there's people loading up the, like you see in the dock area in the back. I mean, down the alleyway, you see trucks unloading like booze and other things into it, getting it ready for the weekend. Thursday night is the intro night for the weekend for some folks. So
Thirsty Thursday.
Exactly. So you have all that.
Quinn will yell greetings to the folks that they know. Probably a few insults to members of their crew.
Yeah. And, there you go. Where you been? Where you been, Quinn?
I've been busy. I'm a fancy hoity-toity now, don't you know?
Yeah, that's what we hear. We're here.
Yeah, you guys will have to come up to the house sometime. I'll show you around.
Oh, we love that.
It's run down through most of it, but it's still.
I don't know. Bittersea wouldn't stop talking about it when she got back yesterday. So
I like her.
Yeah. See, all she could talk about was just how fancy that place was. And how you living it up.
Yeah. And antagonizing people. So it's like the best of every world.
Yeah.
Hey,
but,
the king available? Do you know if he's here?
He is. He's in the back. Yeah, like
I'll go get one of the lieutenants to see if he's
Jonu could probably take you back there.
Good. Jonu's available. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And Jonu comes up. He's got his toothpick. And he's just like, Quinn.
Hey, you ever change that thing out?
All the time. All the
all
time.
Right, good.
It's unhealthy to be
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I mean, actually sucking on a piece of wood, it's kind of creepy and unhealthy in a general sense.
I mean, it's not the worst thing you could suck on. Let's be real.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But it ain't no lollipop either. So he's like, I don't know what the business is. The boss is in the middle of something, but he did say to bring you back as soon as you got here. So
yeah. All right.
So he asks you back. You go back through. So the area where the Rat King normally sits is like the VIP kind of raised
like a dais
area. But what you never really noticed, or you've never been back there for long enough to kind of see, is that there's a curtain that like you can go behind, and it leads to like an area, like another area of the Rat's Nest.
As usual, Quinn is keeping an eye on their surroundings and kind of looking for ways out and things like that.
Sure. So go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Okay. Me. Pull up the right window. Perception. I'm so good at this. I didn't see that. Oh yeah, I'm so good at this. That's a 6.
6. Yeah. So you see a curtain. You would know that curtain would probably give you some trouble if you're trying to get out quickly. Like you might get tripped up in it. Just like maybe be careful when going around or through that curtain. But otherwise, I mean, the normal exits that are available to you at the Rat's Nest. This though is something you had never seen before. Right? So you're not really sure sure where it leads or where it goes. Like you've never really thought about it all that much. You're like,
Yeah.
It's a nightclub, so
Yeah.
like the front door, the normal back door and the service
Mhm.
area, but this is something
This is
totally
new.
this is new.
Yeah.
And so Juno kind of pulls the curtain to the side, leads you back there. He does a little bit with there's a lock on the door, so he unlocks the door.
Mhm.
And he opens it, and it's a dark room. Give me, you already did this. Give me another perception check, actually, because you're heading.
New room. Let's see. That's worse. That's a 5.
Yeah, you don't hear any. You don't.
You're very overawed by being.
You don't. Oh yeah, 100%. You don't really hear anything. And as he opens the door, he's like go on. He's like, I'm not going in, but the boss will be with you in a moment. But don't interrupt him while he's working.
Oh, yeah, no, I ain't gonna do that.
And then as you walk, it's really dark in the room. There's just like a light bulb above a chair, and you just hear the thump thump thump. It's like somebody working like a piece of meat. And when you walk in, you see the Rat King, and you never seen him not in formal dress or whatever, and he's like basically shirt off, just the like arm just ringing in on somebody, and he's like, "Are you going to speak now?" And he's like, I told you already. Gentle Heart Sanitarium. I don't know anything more than that. He's just like, that's what I thought. And with like one last punch, you just see him like crack the guy across the head, and then you hear a noise. It's very distinctly probably his neck breaking. And the guy slumps to the side, and he's just like, Quinn, good to see you. Sorry, I was taking care of some matters. We were looking into the orphan situation, but
yeah,
we know you had some concern about that, so I was hoping to find out a little more.
Yeah, I've talked to a couple folks around town. Talked to the pack rats and some other folks. There's no rhyme or reason that anybody can find for why these kids were taken. No pattern or anything like that. But I got some friends looking into it.
Good.
If you like,
Well,
I can send along the information I have.
Well, I was looking into it for you, actually. So this individual didn't really pan much out. Ooh.
No, they didn't seem keen on cooperating.
Well, they were doing business they shouldn't have been doing in our neighborhoods, and well, I can't tolerate that. So I wanted to see what they were working for or doing, but all they could tell me is the trucks they were driving and the cargo they were moving was for Gentle Hearts Sanitarium.
Gentle Hearts Sanitarium, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of those around the city and so forth, all usually handled by the church. Seems life gets hard here in the city and people can't quite take it. So we try to, supposedly the word is by the government as we take care of our own and make sure that they're treated properly. But
right. They any other members of that little ring you need dealt with?
At the moment, no. I think we will be fine.
Right.
We'll see. I also brought you here because your, how do you say it? Your grandfather, Eston Skye, has said you've been doing his good works, and that he sees you as a bit of a shining star in his eyes. Thought he saw some potential in that. He knew, well, he knows the courts have their own ways of doing things, so he thought to be good for you to learn the proper ways of muscling things for the court.
I'm absolutely happy to do so.
Well, I agreed with him, and while my teacher is not available to you, and I only know the basics, I thought I could spend the next couple of days showing you a few techniques, if you will, how we fight as the Court of Rats.
Not for nothing, I'd be honored.
Good. We have a few more people we'll be bringing in throughout the day to speak with, and then and it kind of, and when he says speak with, he kind of points to the guy that was in the chair, and he's like, "So we have a few more folks to have some discussions with over the next couple of days. I'll show you the ins and outs of our techniques. You don't seem the squeamish type, I hope."
Nah, not squeamish, just practical.
Good. Won't be bringing in anybody that doesn't deserve it.
Look, what you say goes.
Good. We're on the same page. And then he goes about over to a little wash bin, which you see is off to the side, and he kind of washes his hands.
They've got the bloody fist sink.
The bloody fist. It's the bloody fist sink. It really is. And then you see he's and at this moment he washes off the blood from it. It's splattered. And he changes shirt and he puts on a nicer shirt for. He's like, we'll take a pause, and he's like, for now we're not going to bring anybody out. Well, he pushes like a button, which basically like you kind of hear. Well, I don't know. Roll perception. Maybe you won't hear it. Who knows? No, you hear. No, I'm just kidding. You hear a slight buzz as if it's like a light alert or whatever. And at that point, the door that was locked opens again, and two people come in and kind of grab that guy or whatever.
While the king was washing his hands, Quinn's gonna go over and just kind of look at the guy and see if the theory that the neck snap was correct, and just kind of take in the effectiveness of the Rat King's questioning.
Yeah. So give me a
medicine.
I don't know, is that attached to wisdom?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
8.
8. All right. Well,
dice
it was
not with me tonight.
It was quite effective. I think the most important part of the check is that even watching him fight, and you'll see this over the next couple of days. So one of the things that you pick up over the next couple of days, because it's montage, is that he's definitely a heavy like you. But you know that he has some other skills that aren't, and so you get the impression that he's also been trained to sort of like Reggie and Raven, and so he's not a pure thug, right? Like he knows he can teach you the basics of thug or whatever, but there's going to be a point at where you're going to, if you just stay as a thug, you'll surpass him in your thugness. And yeah. And there's a couple. I mean, again, you can give me like insight or any like to get, or you can, if you want to try and glean a little bit more information about the Rat King while because you're working pretty intimately with him.
Can I roll perception, because that's actually my best wisdom.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
16.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, the things that you've been in the military, obviously, or whatever, you've picked up on things like you see that he's definitely in the military. I think you've even heard rumors that he was in it multiple times. You see that his fighting style is probably more similar to like special forces.
Okay.
And being like, that's like the best you glean off of him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, even with working with him, he's very straight and to the point. He'll answer questions like if you have things to ask him or whatever. He's not but like anything too direct, like, so what's your real name, Mr. King, or anything like that. Like it doesn't yeah. Like that he doesn't even register that as like he would just anything that what you notice is if he doesn't want to answer something, he doesn't answer it. And if you try to get insight off of him, you're at disadvantage. So
Quinn,
I know. I'm just letting you know that like anything you would be passively being like, well, maybe or whatever. It's not. He's very straight to business.
Yeah.
The people that he brings in over the next couple days are either folks that have wronged somebody in the neighborhood,
Mhm.
and so like he punishes them that way.
Mhm.
Some people he lets walk away, and then a lot of the other folks, for the most part, done once he gets the information he needs out of them.
Does there seem to be any particular reason to who he lets walk away versus who
Yeah,
doesn't?
people he doesn't let walk away. He gets it's more like he got the information or got what he needed out of them.
Okay.
People he doesn't let, like
Yeah,
people that
yeah.
dead, they're
So
dead.
basically, if they're forthcoming, they might get to leave.
No, it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
other way.
Yeah, if they're forthcoming, he still gets rid of them. The only
Oh,
people he lets walk away are people that he wants to send a message. So if he
got
feels
it.
like they're
Okay.
going to go back to their neighborhood and
Yeah.
or whatever, he sends.
Yeah.
That's how he sends the message. So yeah,
People who understand the gravity of the situation and can
exactly.
express it to others.
Yeah, mostly like he leaves enough of a mark on them that sends the message, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Got
Cool.
it.
And then after a couple days of that, if you so choose, you return back to the Eston household on a Saturday morning when everybody else is gathering. So
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah.
So.
Quinn definitely just takes everything in like a sponge.
Sure.
They aren't they don't question anything personal about the king. Any questions they had would be specific to what
The work
they
you're
are
doing at the moment.
hearing or
Yeah.
what they're doing. So
Yeah.
it's all business.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing regarding the orphans though at this point, and nothing more
Yeah.
regarding the Gentle Hearts sanitarium though.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, with that,
I get to hang out with the Rat King.
you get to hang with the Rat King for a couple days, exactly. Which a lot of people like when you come out and get a drink or whatever. A lot of people are kind of jealous
Yeah.
and wondering what's going on. So yeah, you definitely, that's a thing as well.
Yeah.
So as we fade to black and start your Saturday and leave you to your Saturday morning when you'll join us tomorrow at 9 p.m. on Tuesday. Why don't you give us a shout out again of who you be and where people can find you on the interwebs and what you be doing?
Thank you for being here. My name is Katie Downey. I am also known as Goblin Katie. You can find me on all the socials at Goblin Katie. You can catch me on Sunday nights on Players and Book, which is here on Twitch. I am playing a Triton College of Eloquence bard in a nautical campaign who is currently in a interesting fight. But you can catch me there, find me on the socials, and when I stream on my channel, I typically will post something on the socials. I'm Goblin Katie here on Twitch. So, yeah.
All the good things.
All the
right.
good things.
Well, thank you, Katie, so much for your time today, and we'll see you tomorrow evening. I am going to take a quick intermission before we come back, and we will be here with Raven and Mandy / Mandy. Raven and Mandy. They're two different people. No, they are the same person, and we'll be back in a moment with that. So,
Y'all
all
have
right.
fun.
Cheers. All right.
Bye.
Now for that intermission and some of that sweet, sweet lo-fi music.
I am not hearing you.
All right, I double muted myself. That's great. Hello, and we're back. And we're here with Mandy. Hello, Mandy.
Hello, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. Let's I guess introduce yourself, but you kind of just did, but let's do it one more time. Introduce yourself, Mandy.
I'm Mandy. I'm Mandy. I play Raven, a infiltrator from the East End, kind of gritty, kind of in the shadows.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, in Shadow City, that's the best way to be.
Exactly. And I can see there, so that's great.
That's true. Yeah, we'll go over that. That's definitely, I think, been part of the fun is discussing like what y'all can and do, and realizing you could do, because some people were like, "Oh, I didn't even know I could do that." So there you go. So we'll hit that a little bit. But we had a behind the scenes session before we started, and we kind of, I think everybody thought different things about their character and where they were going to be doing and what they were going to achieve and who they were going to be. And now we've 13 sessions in. How would you say your
13 really?
Yeah, I know. They are about 14s tomorrow. Yeah, at 9 p.m. We'll be at 14 sessions of so like how's your character evolved differently than you originally imagined?
That's a tough question.
She has
it's I mean, overarching, she's kind of the character I thought she was going to be. But the game itself has opened up new ideas for me, new ways to go. Like, I think I was more picturing a D&D rogue, if you know what I mean. And there's so much more you can do with this kind of character in the game that you've built.
Yeah, 100%. No. Definitely, that's definitely a good way to look at it. Yeah, it's not quite rogue because some characters, some of the other classes borrow from rogue stuff as well too, right? So, but you have your own things as well. So, what would you say? What would you say those surprised you the most about the game?
The interactions between characters, the different ways that skills that when you read on paper, you're like, okay, this character can do that. How is that really possibly going to be important? And then seeing them play out and how important, adding a D6 to a roll can be in this game, especially when you're talking about like finishing a project or, do you get that? How many times in the just past few sessions has someone given someone an extra D6 and it make or break a combat, or it make or break whether they actually, it's majorly clutch. Even seemingly little abilities when used correctly are powerful in this game, and there's enough different ways to use abilities that like most games I've played in the past, when you're looking at that stuff, you're looking at combat. You're not really looking at that stuff for, even in like very heavy RPG games, the RPGs, the role playing is more just between the people. It's not like it's not baked into the system where you're still using the system even to do that. And I like it a lot.
Cool. No, I mean, that's definitely one of the things we're going for, right? Like the, because at least through 1 through 6, the street level things, your combat's not going to happen all that often, right? We've had one combat before hitting a milestone and moving on to the next one. Now that's going to change, right? Like going from 3 to 4, it'll be a couple extra like combats, probably not just one before you level up. But because we have additional systems, right? The influence system and the crafting system and everything like that, we wanted to make sure that every every class had something to contribute to that element of the story, right? So, you have little benefits which we'll go over there, either from your faction or your class or your subclass. And it doesn't mean that and we don't have a maker on our team, but if, the maker is the craftsman, but they're not the only one that can contribute to crafting, right? Other folks could do that as well. The face obviously has a lot of stuff that helps with influence, but so do all the other characters, right? There's just they do it with their own little twist,
right?
Yeah. So very cool. So what would you say you're enjoying most about Shadow City Mysteries?
The mysteries. The world is so well built and built out that there's so many different things that Raven wants to do. And unfortunately, there's just not enough time in a day to even touch half of it.
Turns out there's exactly 2 sessions a day, because that's what it's kind of timed out to be, that it takes us about 2 sessions to get through a day. So for those, literally, we're gonna jump into the conclusion of a Wednesday, but keep in mind that, or start of a Thursday, but the players as a family and a team, 13 sessions, have only gone from Friday evening when they first met to Wednesday evening now, right? So,
which is impossible to believe in the player's mind, because it feels like this has been going,
forever. Yeah. No.
And I don't know. I don't want to call it a problem. That's totally the wrong word, so don't take that the wrong way. But that's one of the things, some of these different things that want to get done. It's I'm still supposed to be doing my normal job, and I think I've only done that once since we've been together.
That's good. That's a point, right? So technically, this is the second week of the month, right? At the end of the month, in 2 more weeks, you're going to roll your savings roll, right? Which can be slightly influenced by how often have you actually been working, right? So,
and I don't even know how that works yet, but I know I only went to work one time last week. That I know for sure.
Well, it's this week, so you're okay.
So right now I just have to go again this week, and as long as I go once a week, Yeah. But the other problem with that in Raven's mind is she's always been scraping just to survive. Now she has a bed. She has. Sure. I mean, it's only been a week, but that feels completely,
alien.
Yeah. So,
no, all the mysteries. I mean, I have a tendency to run pretty open world games, and I let the players go where they want to go with the stories, right? And so the world is living and breathing. And so if the players don't focus on certain things, the things move forward, right? And that's the nature. Now, some certain things are in obviously game world pause mode, right? Because just the nature of how to be able to approach and do everything like that. But definitely want it to be that you can pursue the things that you want to pursue or whatever. But not pursuing certain things also gives your enemies the advantage too. Like we were talking about one of Quinn's abilities, which is if the enemies are working against you on an influence project to take points away from you, they have an ability that lets them regain those points back. But the point is that what that means is that
there are enemies out there.
There are enemies that could work against you, right? Also what it means is that right now you've been tackling influence projects pretty fast and quick, but if you leave some to just sit there, then that means it gives the time your enemies to be aware that you were trying to do those kind of things, and then they can work away and start chipping away at things, right? So it's a balance that's going on across the board there, and it's tough. And I'm also trying to find the balance because this is something we engage in once a week. I mean, for the most part, we engage some more so than others, but in between time, it's hard to keep track of everything that's going on or whatever, and what needs to be addressed or whatever. So I'm also trying to make sure that you have support in the NPCs that are there to kind of give you some guidance if you ever need to check in and be like, so what was it we were supposed to be working on? And they could be like, well, these are the things that your grandfather would like you to do, but on a personal level, maybe you want to do something else, they are the boss of you, but not the boss of you, right? At the same time. So, lots of stuff there. So, we did a surprise. Was that what you're enjoying the most? Was that the question I asked there? I don't know if we're 3 questions in or 2 questions in.
I'm not exactly sure what question you asked. I just answered it.
All right. Well, what do you hope? How about this? We'll just go with this. What are you hoping to see more of in House of Skye? So, what's something as me as a GM could put more on the screen, or for you that to engage in that you'd be excited about, right? Because I've been trying to, for me, it's a
Understood.
balancing act. Yeah.
I think at this point there hasn't been a lot of really, I don't even want to say straightforward, but like chances to show the sneaky side.
Oh, sure.
Like
No.
Like the thought of like sneaking into a place and having to get something, that kind of stuff is kind of what my character's generally built around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, having an opportunity that is not directed, but like is going to actually achieve a goal as opposed to just going out and being like, I want to get into this apartment and see, being able to, and again, I know we're at the beginning and I'm not, it's
those opportunities haven't come up yet, but it's good to note that, you're looking to put those skills to use more. So definitely for sure. Anything else?
Picking traps, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You mean the rogue stuff, like
right? Exactly. Because again, it is one of the strengths of that character is and again, one of the things that make it hard right now is I think we are all so pulled in different directions because there's storylines that maybe we weren't supposed to go so deeply down and we chose to anyway. Even with a hand going, are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, we're players. We're sure we want to do this. Come on.
I'm never gonna stop you all from going down rabbit holes, all right? But I always feel bad sometimes. I do feel bad when sometimes you all are like, oh, that didn't pay off the way I thought it would. I was like,
yeah, but that's that is part of the game, and honestly, if every lead led to an answer, then there is no, it's just like
exactly. Like I feel like that. Then I think it takes away from when you do get the payoff, right?
Exactly.
Where the thing that you weren't expecting, you're like, oh,
it's the same as having no chance of dying in combat. If the only choices in front of you are good choices, then there's
outside of D&D, I would say that your chances of dying in one of my games is probably pretty low. But the fact that like I just roll the dice and follow the rules, and if the thing happens, I'm like, well, that's not good for you. So the chance of you dying is actually pretty high in my game. Most not because of my intention, but just because I am just rolling the dice and doing what the things to like say. So.
But for me personally, I like that. I like that those chances are there because again, some of my favorite characters in games I've played in the past have died. Yeah. And it's that death that makes them really special characters to me because usually when they do, it's either doing something completely boneheaded and they deserve it and everything else, or it's that like save the party kind of moment where, you're the one to die, but the goal was, succeeded because of that.
Exactly. No, I agree. So one of the things we've been doing is flipping the script a little bit and letting you all ask some questions of me, so that maybe I'll divulge some secrets that you weren't aware of before, but that hasn't happened yet. So we'll see. But what you got for me, Mandy?
I think probably my biggest question is like, what are the things that we have been doing that drive you crazy? Like, and what can we do to like, again, we're going to be our characters, but what can we do to help you?
This that makes sense. It doesn't drive me. Well, always asking what the name of the person is, but that's on me because I need to prepare random names more upfront, like just off to the side in my notes, so that like I have
and a lot of people ask those names and then they don't write it down or anything. So
well, that's fine. But we have an LLM that I pump all of our episodes.
We do.
So if you ever just want to ask the question, you find out who they are. No, that one doesn't actually drive me crazy. It doesn't really drives me crazy because again, I'm so used to running very open world games where I'm used to being a little bit of improving on the moment. I like when you guys go down, like decide to do something I'm totally not expecting, or decide to hammer out on something. I feel like this is like, as long as you all are engaged and you're engaging each other, and if you want to eat up a scene with each other and just chat and have that, because again, it's a family coming together for the first time. It's like part of that moment is supposed to be there. And then if you decide you're gonna go, even though I repeated multiple times, like, this isn't what you really need to be chasing at. Like, literally, I've given you all the information you need, but you're like, I need to be sure. You know what? I'll let you be sure. I'll let you cash in on whatever it is and use your abilities to do the thing and find out the information you have or need to have. And I like it because, like, while I have my plot points and I have my things that I think you're going to achieve for the whatever, and I know the direction of the story, and I know like the hard limits, like I know the hard facts. So if you decide to do something and I think it's more interesting to the story and it doesn't screw up the hard facts and make me retcon anything too heavily, I'm more than happy to like add a little element that I hadn't intended on doing, right? Like there's definitely pieces. So is there anything you should do differently? No, play the game. Everything the way everybody's playing. And I think what I like is everyone, for the most part, has had opportunities to get the spotlight on them, interact the way they do. You know, everyone engages a little differently. You engage differently than Matt Bell, Frank, right? And you engage differently than Matt Walsh does. You know, as playing Ignatus and Katie and Reggie and like for Ariel, everybody has their thing, and you know, so I don't mind it at all. I think it's just as long as you're having fun and you're getting out of it what you need to, then I don't care what you all do. Yeah. I think it's one of those weird things is the premise of the game is you're being called in by this grandfather that you've never met before, this person that's newly hired. And so I think the hardest one that I've been working slowly to get you all to disengage a little bit is the antagonism of the missing grandfather, right? Like I'm like, I mean, this dude's not a great guy, but he's not like the devil that everybody makes him out to be. So it's just like, it's this hard moment to be like.
I think it's hard for some of us in the sense of like our life has been so hard.
Sure. And here's
in this city,
got everything, right? You know,
and he has everything, and he says he's been watching out for us. You know, like. Oh, yeah, that is very hard to believe from Raven's perspective.
Sure. No, I agree.
That is like, if you were looking out for me, I wouldn't have had to figure out how to feed myself when I was 8 years old, you know, kind of thing.
Oh, sure.
So, sure, it was more dangerous, you know, to be associated to you than to live on the streets through my childhood.
Yeah, but that's hard to explain to somebody, right? Like
exactly.
Yeah. Like, really? You think so? Because I don't know. I might have been okay with, like, you know, someone putting a bullet in me if that was really, you know, but maybe, you know. So no, I get that. But yeah, no, there's nothing. I think it's like, I'm like, why is this a thing? So what else you got?
What do you wish us as players and the people that watch know more about the work you put into building Shadow City?
It's a longer process than you think. It's so I kind of was talking about this a little bit with Katie and alluded to, but so when I had this grand idea back in 2022, I had just a rough concept of a much larger video game that I wanted to do, and I approached Brandis, and then I approached Steven. Brandon Stoddard and Stephen Cheney, who work behind the scenes, and they were on board from the premise. I kind of told them, I said, listen, it's a world that's entirely black and white. And back then the line was, even in a world with no color, not everything is black and white. Right. And so the hit on the noir part, I said, I want to do noir. I said, I've got this idea for 6 factions. The idea is that the character basically could be a member of any of these factions, and that the idea is that you replay the game 3 times, and every time you play through the game, you pick up a new faction to add to your skill. So it's like new game plus, right? And so that's where the factions came in, right? And the factions were all polar opposites. So there's 3 categories, 2 in each. So you're either rich or a criminal, you're either brass or iron, you're either cult or church. And that's how we started. And it was very ambitious and still very ambitious, and we're still working on it. And then the idea was that we would would build that game out, and then we would build a number of products to support that game, right? We would do visual novels to tell stories of the secondary characters. We'd build a tabletop RPG. We'd build out, you know, little video shorts, and we would do an actual play maybe, and some other things. And this was in 2022. In 2023, I went and I started pitching it. And I've been in the video game industry for over 25 years. So I've been doing this a really long time. And I was just not prepared at the time for just how bad the video game industry was about to hit. And by the end of 2023, there were a number of layoffs, and that continued through 2024. 2025 wasn't that much better. And raising money and trying to get investment and publishers to back an idea like this was even more challenging, no matter how cool the idea sounded or whatever, right? So that's where I realized we were going to have to pivot. And so after the first year, we decided the idea was we would have the video game first, and then we build all these other things to fill in the empty space. But instead, we had to pivot, and we had to like start building out that empty space. And so that's why we did the backer kit for the tabletop RPG. We worked on that for the last year, and once that was at a good spot that we could do the actual play, we did that. And then the plan for visual novels, like which we have coming out soon, there's 6 of those, and they all focus on pivotal characters in the larger game, right? And so we have this larger game, we have these visual novels, they're all choice based, they're all like choices matter. So like the choices you make in the visual novels carry over into setting the narrative in the larger world of the full game. This is my podcast. I don't even know why I should just say like, so it's Shadow City Mysteries of Clockwork Noir is the bigger ambitious game. It's a 3D narrative adventure game. And then our visual novels are Shadow City Case Files. And then our first one is Rise of the Rat King, right? But we have one that's going to focus on Jellified Winters, the politician who everybody loves. There's going to be one that focuses on the union boss. There's going to be one that focuses on the Cult of Tenebris curiosity shop owner. Yeah, exactly. There's going to be one on a character that hasn't come on screen yet, except only for Perrin, and only during this one-on-one recently. It's the High Priestess of the Church of Astra. And then Madame Rose from the Brass Rose Cabaret, who everybody seems to enjoy. So you'll get to see a little bit more of their story, and then then there's the work now of basically putting this actual play together and having you all together. Katie asked me what the challenge is, whether for creating a world and a setting or whatever. It's making sure that we reveal enough consistently across the board. But working with you all, my biggest challenge actually is making sure that like you don't deviate too much from the overall, because we don't want to muddy the waters. But I could always just say that like what we're running here is not the canon, right? I'm not saying that the story that we're running with the House of Skye is not canon, because I always want the players and those that engage in our products to make Shadow City their Shadow City, right? Like, when you play Shadow City Mysteries Clockwork Noir, your Nyla Nightingale is going to be your Nyla Nightingale. What factions you choose, what directions you go on, what relationships they build. And then even more so when you play the visual novels beforehand, the choices you make on how the Rat King rises to power, who they let live, who they kill, whatever, those choices carry over. And so you're setting your world. And when you run this game at the table, which I hope all of you do at some point in time, it's going to be your city, right? Like we did the exercise of creating your city. Like that's a big part for us. Like how I came in with a story that I intended and wanted to tell. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure that you had touch points in this world that you felt that you were contributing to, and you bring it to the table, because I really do feel that the tabletop experience, role-playing experience, the best part is when you bring people to the table, and you share in the collaborativeness of storytelling and what's going on there. That's the beauty of it. It's the story that we tell together, right?
Absolutely.
And the beauty is all the people that you're able to invite to the table. I think we talked about this a little bit during the original one-on-one. Is the tabletop space for me, and I know you said the same experience, has always been very collaborative and open and welcoming, right? Like there's always your offshoots or whatever, right? But as a whole, it's a very welcoming community, and I think the ability to share the table with different people, different walks of life, different ideas, and so forth, and be mutually respectful of each other, and everything like that, and then enjoy that experience together is huge. It's huge. So it's something you can't experience that any other way, right? Movies, video games, whatever. I mean, maybe a little bit with fandom in general, right? Like forums and stuff like that, where you can share with other fans and things like that, conventions, like where you get together. But group storytelling in a way that's like this is very unique, and I think it's a beautiful part of everything. So back to the original part of the question is what's involved. A lot's been involved. It's been a long journey. 2026 looks to see it all come together, culminate. We'll have the manuscript out to our backers in February. It's going to be a little bit longer for the books, we found out, because our editor, who's super awesome, is also one of the best editors. He's also super booked. So when we get them available, that'll be great. But we already have our sensitivity reader reading stuff. Our layout artist is looking at it. So as soon as that's there, it hits the print. But everybody, and they'll get a really nice. But the benefit is we get a little bit more time for Adam to make more art to go into the book, and the art's awesome. So I don't mind.
Absolutely.
I don't mind giving you all more art. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's actually there, dependingly. I don't know. It's always the opposite direction. And then the visual novel will be coming out. The visual novel, the first one is already get the demo on Steam, and it'll be it's in the Steam Fest coming up. Our larger game is actually part of there's a detective festival going on right now on Steam. So if you want to wishlist it and not miss out on when there's updates for it, definitely do that.
It's already been done.
It's already been done. Yeah, I know. Well, thank you. We appreciate the support. No, we've got so much going on. It's crazy. But again, this year, a lot of all the things that we've been working towards and moving towards. We've got the actual play going on right now, and we're already looking at getting some more cool, because our players are awesome, but we're gonna get some more additional cool guests coming on to play with you all. So there's no spoiler there, because it'll take a little bit of time. But I'm excited about that, and getting just more exposure out there. So yeah, it's not if anybody thinks it's an overnight thing or something you do simply, it's not. It's a lot of work, a lot of blood, sweat, and heartache that goes into it, and disappointment. Don't get me wrong. You always want to see things kind of maybe do better than they do, but the response that we get is always super encouraging. Just again, I was telling the story. We were at a conference and we're showing the game, and we had some kids come through, and they couldn't play the game because it was not appropriate for them. But they were looking at the art that we had, and one of the little girls was just like, "Is that lady Indian?" And I was like, "Yeah, she's inspired." And she's like, "Oh, that's so cool." I was like, "Yeah, she's one of the most powerful women in the city." And she's like, "That's awesome." And then another little girl was just like, "Oh, is that pretty?" And like the fact that we have a lot of people that people can relate to, and there's a lot of diversity there, and we're not. That's at the end of the day, I don't care if we only have 100 or 1,000 or whatever. I don't need 1 million. I just need 100 people that feel like they can identify with somebody in the world and feel cool about the city that we're building, and the world and the setting and everything like that. That's all that matters to me. So again, this is a passion project more than anything else. But when I see other people resonate with our passion, that always makes me happy. And so that's really where we're going for now at this point. Yeah. I think that was your last question. So we're gonna do a little. We're gonna switch stages. You're gonna fall off for like 1 second, and then I'm gonna have to add you back on, and then we're gonna go through Raven.
Spa day.
Yeah, spa day. Well, not yet. It's not spa day yet. This is pre spa day. All right, let me switch real fast. All right, and we're back. All right, so yeah, I want to go over your abilities and see, maybe talk about has this actually come up a good bit? Has it not come up that bit? Did you even know you had this ability? So here's what this one actually does come up quite a bit. All right, size importance from your faction, which is pretty cool. The rolling a d20 And so the tricky part that I always have to remember is that it's not just replacing a roll. It's if it's the same roll, you get to re-roll, which actually is the kind of cool part, I think, more than anything else.
Right. I mean, both are cool and for different circumstances, but
Sure,
yes.
sure. Yeah.
Because if you roll that 20 or that 18, like it's
Sure.
almost an automatic, you
No,
know.
it's in most cases it's an automatic success, right? So you get to kind of
Right.
keep that in your back pocket. So, all right, and then Shadow Sight, as you alluded to earlier, you have dark vision, so you can actually see in the dark, which is about as supernatural. Well, okay, actually the other one's pretty supernatural too. So the cool thing about the Cult of Tenebrous is you have some of the more supernatural build. Obviously, the other supernatural one being the Church of Astra, right? They have other stuff, but definitely plays into the to the way we wanted factions to work in the first place, right? Like I kind of mentioned, the idea is you have like rich and criminals, right?
Right.
And then you have brass and iron, and then you have your two opposing mystical sides, right? So Church of Astra and Cult of Tenebrous. So
yeah.
So this
I don't want the interrogator coming to our household, just so you know. I don't want it.
Oh, we just had this conversation with Katie about the accidental invitation of the Inquisition. So hey.
I missed that part, but
oh yeah, no. Should be good. And hyper aware from your East End background. So you get +5 passive perception. I actually had to ask the question because I was looking at your character sheet at one time, and I was like, asking Steven, I was like, why is Raven's passive perception so high? It's like hyper aware. I was like, oh, I have to look at that. It's even I learned new things about the different abilities we have in the game. So I was like, oh, that's actually super dope. And this is the one. Now I see why you're asking. Like, it'd be great if I got an opportunity to spot traps or hazards or ambush. So definitely need to make sure that comes into play at some point. And then this is something we haven't used yet, and I realized it the other day, was that you actually get an extra 10 feet on your first turn in combat. Though I don't think you're usually wishing to rush in.
Yeah, that's not really my thing, and I think I might soon, hopefully, be able to afford a ranged weapon, which was always my first goal of buying something in game.
True.
I did not have enough money at start because of my background and such to,
Such is life. And then of course you're an infiltrator, so you get sneak attack. And sneak attack's a little different in our game, which I know confuses sometimes some of our viewers and confuses me sometimes. Which it shouldn't, because I have no reference actually to what real sneak attack should be. But ours is you get the extra damage when you have advantage, but also when you have an ally within 5 feet of you. Right? I don't know if
that's why we allow Quinn to stand around. And
exactly.
It's not 5 feet of us; it's 5 feet of the
target.
The target.
Yeah. And then the damage goes up over level, but that makes sense, like everything else. And then you have readiness, which is your special points, which every class kind of has their own little point systems or whatever. But yours readiness, which allows you to disengage, right? That's a very typical roguish thing to do. But you have to spend points to do this, right? So disengage, dash, dodge, help, or hide. As a bonus action. If you've done that as a bonus action, you get to attack or to use the ready action. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Skilled sneak. I do like this one. Though it lowers your sneak attack dice by 1. So, but the ability, again, like we were talking about, 1d6 sometimes is pretty clutch.
Absolutely. And it also, it resets in your next battle. So it's not something that you're using it for this one battle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I think
that is fair.
Yeah, the reason here is to make sure you're not just spamming it, right?
And as it should be.
Yeah. And the cool thing about it is that you get to do it after you've seen the results, right? A lot of times the D6s or the bonus D6 comes before you, right? So you're like you're expending something, and then if it's a shitty result anyway, crap, So this gives you a little bit more flex. Ready?
Now,
hold out.
I'm sorry. Could that be used for saving throws that are dexterity, intelligence, or wisdom based?
Yes. Those are
okay.
Those are. It's a dexterity, intelligence, and wisdom check, right? So saving throws, I believe, are in that around. Stephen will correct me later if I said this wrong. But
Okay, I was just wondering because it's something I
think it's those are checks. So I do believe Ezra. But we were having a discussion where somebody else had added a question, and we were going back and forth on a little bit on this. Not this one particularly, but something else. So ready holdouts. So for being an infiltrator, your second level, you can spend a readiness point and you get to have an item, this is kind of like the
I thought about using this in the fight with the mechanical things.
Yeah, because you could have been like, I have a thing that's here.
What I was thinking was it would be like a wire string or something that if I threw might knock down one of the drones, caught in the propellers. Yeah. But I wasn't sure at that moment if that was something I could do with it, and I wanted to ask the question. So before I did it.
For me, the idea is that you don't necessarily have to prepare it ahead of time, right? It could also be something that like, oh, I had this thing and I thought about it. And I'd be like, oh, okay. Like it's a little bit more like foreshadowing kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. Readiness is you're ready for anything, right? So it's kind of the idea. It's sort of like having like a bag of, or is it not bag of holding? It'd be the
so does that mean
pull things out of stuff?
Before I go to sleep each night, I can just make some $10 item that I could sell in the store the next day?
No, we've already said that one's not that's specifically to stop you from doing that. And
unlimited gold glitch.
Exactly. And then you're going to be picking up very soon now the thread cutter ability, cutting opening, which lets you deal sneak damage during the first round of each combat. You can spend a readiness point up to do additional damage, which is pretty cool, right? It's the number of damage dice you roll and max damage. That's the dope part about it. That's it. Instead of rolling, you get to choose to do max damage, which is pretty heinous, actually, especially later on. Especially later on, right? However, this is one of the situations where you have to do it before rolling. So
understood.
Yeah, I think that definitely makes sense. And then the other cool thing, again, pulling more because Thread Cutter is the subclass for the Cult of Tenebris, so pulling on a little bit of that spooky supernatural aspect of things. When you're in dim light or darkness, you don't expend a sneak die to use your skilled sneak, which is cool. And you can now use your skilled sneak on intimidation checks, which means that you can be like the shadow. And did it to me again every time. It's like, dude. You'd be like the shadow and hiding in the shadows and intimidating people and going, tell me what you know, which is pretty cool. And then as a magic action, you can also frighten somebody, which is pretty dope. Especially because we were looking at this is where the discussion was. Reggie has an ability where they do additional damage to someone who is frightened. So if you frighten somebody, then Reggie can do additional. So you can combo and work together, doing that kind of thing. So that's pretty awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
now, can we dim the lights in the parlor before I have my my people over?
You can always do that. 100%. You can set. I mean, that's preparation and setting up stuff that you need to, right? If you want to intimidate everybody in the parlor, I think that'll at least get you one of your checks. Okay. Might be a little overkill. So all right, we're gonna go back over here. So when we left Raven, it was Wednesday evening. Everybody had just met up with Grandpa Eston, and he had just promised Grandpa. See, it's never come up ever. He said everyone's getting a spa day. Not really. And not fun. And really, and and he leaves you to your business and he goes about his own. So you spend your evening doing whatever you need to. It's one of the few moments where you kind of aren't all gathered together doing whatever. And the next morning there's an envelope, envelope underneath the door with your name written. You've seen these envelopes before. It's written in Miss Dreadmire's handwriting. What do you do?
Cha-ching. I got paid. So I go to the envelope and open it.
So you're the first person to have gotten that right away. So yeah, you open it and you see the invoice like last time. It talks about like mechanical pest removal and like all the things that you've done, but in a very like transactional way. But then at the end,
mechanical pest removal, not murder bot prevention.
No, not. And at the bottom, instead of saying payment, it says allowance, and then it's $120, and then inside there's $120. There's also a note that's written in Miss Dreadmire's handwriting that says that you should go to this address today, but with no specific time or anything like that.
Is it an address that I recognize?
It is not an address you recognize.
Guess I'm gonna have to find Mrs. Dreadmire.
So yeah, you go about find Mr. Dreadmire. Miss Dreadmire is downstairs. She's ordering about the help and telling them things that they could do. You notice that Ignatius is off to the side waiting for Miss Dreadmire, but he's doing his own thing. Like it's like he's waiting for him. So she's approachable at this point. She's like, "Yes, good morning, Raven.
How are you doing this wonderful morning?"
"Oh, fine. Just taking care of, the normal house stuff. What brings you about?"
"Well, I was promised a spa day, and instead I got this envelope directing me to an unknown address. Do you know anything about this?"
Yes, I believe that is the current address of the Curiosity Shop.
That place switches around a lot, doesn't it?
I believe that is part of their mystique.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I should head that way. Is there any way to get a ride?
Yes, Hans will take you into town. He's been driving in and out, dropping everyone off. So,
all right, thank you.
So she goes back about. You step outside. You see that the Iron Union workers are still working. In fact, they've replaced their numbers since yesterday. There's lots of loud noise and banging and so forth. Hans sees you and he tips his hat and he kind of points to the truck and he goes and gets into the truck and starts it up for you.
"I'm sorry for always using you like this, Hans, but I need a ride again."
"Of course, this is my job."
"Yeah, but you do it so well."
"Yeah, thank you." He's like, where to?"
And I give him the address.
And he looks, thinks about it. He stops for a moment. He grabs like a map and kind of looks to see. And he's just like, okay. And then he puts it back and he drives. You realize that like Hans has probably actually only been in the city for about a couple weeks now. So the fact that he knows most of the places that you all actually asked him to drop you off is pretty remarkable in and of itself. But even though you get the sense that he was from here originally, things change, street names,
of
whatever,
course,
right?
Of course.
So he takes you into town. He drops you off at what you think is the address. It looks like the facade of the Curiosity Shop from last time, like, or whatever. You've been around the city. You don't remember it ever being here, but at the same time, you didn't remember it being where it was last time either. So, yeah.
Thanks for the ride.
Of course. Just give a call when you need it back.
Will do. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you. You too. And he drives off. You see the Curiosity Shop. You see a different set of things within the window. They weren't the same as last time. It looks like they change out their offerings. And yeah, how would you like to approach?
So I'll try to open the door.
Door opens. The bell rings. And the layout looks a little different than you remember it last time. But again, I don't know how much attention you were paying to everything that was there.
I was looking at it, but not crazy.
Exactly,
it's a shop, and that's the same way I'm going to look at it this time. Is there anything that draws my attention? But
you roll perception.
17.
17, pretty good. What draws your attention is that the you do immediately see Ellis Swift, the shop owner, behind the counter. Normally, they kind of just pop out of nowhere, but they're already there or whatever. There's the air smells again like, I mean, it's different types of incense, but you've traveled over the world, and like, if anything, it just brings back pleasant memories, right? Like even though maybe it wasn't the best experience or whatever, for why you were there or whatever, but when you did have good moments, whatever those were, that's what comes to you when you smell the smoke in the air. Yeah, it's comforting. It's not intoxicating or anything like that. It's just like, and it's not like, but it's a comfort, right? So you feel comfortable here, and again, other than Ellis Swift, the Curiosity Shop owner, there's not much else stands out. I mean, you can tell like most of the trinkets are imports. They're not local items, but they're more decoration than anything else. It doesn't look like there's anything actually like super like there.
Nothing I'd want to palm.
Nothing. No, I mean, there's there's things of value, sure.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But I also know what this place is, so I'm not going to.
Sure, there you go. All right. Grab
okay, so I'll
daggers that fly on their own or anything. Yeah. So.
Oh, that thoughtful knife! I would love a thoughtful knife. One of those things you just tell where to go.
Exactly. So you after if you read even Ellis Swift at some point goes, yes, Raven, welcome.
Hello. I was told I was to be here today.
Your grandfather had reached out to us, said you've been doing some remarkable work for the family, and that he saw a lot of potential in you, and thought we should perhaps give you some guidance on perhaps how to move forward with your life.
Raven will react a little bit reserved to that kind of, talk. But interested and not trying to make it too crazy. Like, okay, let's. What does this mean?
We found the request to be interesting as well, but knowing what we do know of you, and what it seems your grandfather was alluding to, we felt maybe there is some proper guidance that we could provide, but of course, up to you. If you wish to go another route in life, we're not here to stop you or choose the ways that you choose.
I'm interested in at least seeing where this leads.
Sure. Well, then it leads this way, and she takes you to the back. She's like, just so you know, this is your ways are not my ways, but I believe there are those that could teach you more, and takes you to the back and lifts up a trap door, and then basically, like, it's dark down. You can see down there though. It's not. Yeah.
Like, I'm looking down there and want to make sure this isn't a
no, there's no
trap or an ambush or
there's no trap or ambush here. It does lead down into a basement area, and you can see from there there's also another like the basement area is filled with different tables and boards, and like, so tables for alchemical workshopping and other things. None of the beacons are fired up or anything like that. So it's just like, okay. It's not in use at the moment. There are a number of boards with notes on them and different writing from different languages from around the world. There are bookshelves with books and everything like that. And there is somebody basically standing there that you do see right away. They're not hiding. They're in the dark, but they're not hiding. And they're dressed. It's they're all in black. You notice that the clothing to be what you think to be of Tisga origin, which is a like more deserty, land based, like not a lot of access to water. They have a headscarf, and but not like their face isn't covered. But you see that they have like a lower scarf that they could pull up to kind of hide their appearance. And Ellis basically says this is Halissa. I believe they can guide you more in our ways, and particularly the ways of someone who tends to the shadows in different ways than I do. She says, I'll leave you be. And then she goes back up.
Thank you for the introduction.
And she nods in acknowledgement. And Halissa basically goes to, like, greetings. You are, I believe, Raven?
That is me. And I'm looking her up and down, kind of sizing her up.
Yeah. She basically, give me a perception.
11.
You get from her stance and the way she stands, you get the idea that, or you get the general gist that they fairly dexterous. You can't quite tell. They most likely have weapons hidden on them, but they don't have any outright in their hands or anything like that. But to what kind, you have no idea. They look fairly skilled. You see while their face doesn't look extremely aged, you see in their eyes that they have experience. They may not necessarily be the most experienced in this, but you more so than you. How about that?
And I've learned that you can learn things from people, so I'm willing to learn.
Sure. Halissa basically says we have particular ways and how we deal with things. I know probably in your early trainings with the cult, not all things have been revealed to you, and even now I can't say that I will be able to reveal too much more. But what I can say is that if you seek the path that the cult has for you, and you walk the labyrinth, and you break those who try to cheat their way through the labyrinth, you can learn very much. If this is something you wish to learn, I can spend time showing you our ways.
I would like that.
There is no price for this. You are a member of the cult. What is appropriate is that we teach you the right ways of doing things, but in time, we may call upon you to do things with these skills that we teach you. Are you prepared for that?
I think I am. I won't say that I'll do anything. So,
of course not. We're not here to give you orders. We're simply here to provide you opportunities.
But I would definitely want to provide help back if I could, and it was within reason.
Sure. Then we will begin our training now, and with that. Training montage. The next 2 days are pretty intense. They're showing you basically ways to, like, use the shadows, call upon it. What's interesting is that the embraced by the shadows, when you're using that to enhance your skills, you actually feel the shadows themselves are kind of guiding your hands and everything like that. It feels more mystical than it did before, right? Like, you always felt comfortable in the shadows, especially with being trained by the cult Tenebris. But what you're learning to do now has a lot more to it. Even the guiding of the blade, right, to do more damage, feels like there's something or someone guiding your actions. And that while as you have the intent, there's something more behind it that's showing it. The other thing that's interesting is you spend time, because you're basically staying in this basement, and it's a fairly large basement. It has access to the sewers of the city, and and sometimes you'll go out that way, and you'll do some of your training always in the dark, always in, or you'll see other people coming and going though from the shop. And so over the course of 2 days, you see a lot of folks in and out of the curiosity shop or the basement. And at sometimes you feel like you question whether or not like it's like something shift or whatever. And when you go upstairs to get something or whatever, you look outside on the street and it's a different street. And so this kind of happens. But what's interesting is the sewer, like when you come onto the sewer, is always in the same spot. Now, whether or not, but then again, like how often did you spend time in the sewers? I don't know. Like,
right. But if you're coming out in the same spot, even though you're leaving from a different spot, there's
weird.
Something fishy going on.
There's interesting, right?
Right. Right.
What I can say is the time that you spend there, I'll let you do your 4 influence rolls to try and influence your inviting members of the Cult of Tenebris to the party. So you may choose presence, or not presence, deception.
We'll start with my best one, which is deception.
Deception, intimidation. What's the other one? Persuasion. Persuasion's the word I was looking for. Or insight.
So,
right.
Deception 23.
23. Oh wow. Okay. I mean, it's not a natural 20, so it's still
no, but it's still nice.
It's a success.
One off of that.
It's one. It's one. All right. And what's the other one you got?
I guess I'm going to do persuasion.
Yeah.
21.
That's good. All right. 2 successes. All right. And now your choice of intimidate or insight.
And I guess that would be, does it matter?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm looking, and a little bit, tiny bit, but it does matter. So I guess, and I am, just to make sure. No. 21.
21. There we go. Okay, so 3.
Quinn took her dice with her.
That's right. That's good. That is good. So go ahead and give me a roll 3d6.
Yes. Wow.
Well, maybe not all our dice though. So 5 still though. You made 5 towards that. So
man.
Yeah,
that's less than a max on one roll.
They weren't even all that excited. They were like, so while you got it, they weren't that impressed. So
they were totally persuaded. They were totally decepted. They were totally intimidated, but they were like,
yeah, it's so much. So with that, you spend your 2 days with your training, and there'll be there's more you have to practice, but that's enough at least to get the basics there. And then your Saturday morning, you make it back to home, where everybody else is gathered. Well, or not. Maybe you decide not to go back home. You just decide to live in the Curiosity Shop basement for the rest of your life. I'm not. I leave that to you to decide how you spend that going forward. But so that with that, we'll end our session here, and we'll let you one last time say who you is and where you can be found on the interwebs, and I'll do a couple other shout outs.
I am Mandy. I play Raven, the infiltrator from the East End, and you can find me here tomorrow night, 9 p.m.
Right.
Eastern.
That's right. And we it'll be Saturday morning for everybody in game, but it'll be 9 p.m. Tuesday. So before we go, I want to give a shout out to our awesome people behind the scenes that contribute to making all this happen. So for game design and writing, Stephen Cheney and Brandon Stoddard. Tarot design and writing, Rabbit Stoddard. Character design, Adam Schumpert. Tarot and symbol design, Luana Zahra. Graphic and UI design, Fleur Sciortino of The Wanderer's Tome. And I'm Christopher Mifsud, the game master and host tonight, and also the other stuff. But you can find us, Play On Word Studios, all over the interwebs. It's in different variations. Just type in Play On Word Studios, and you'll see it. And it'll be like that logo that's up wherever, up in the corner. Play On Words. Give us a follow, give us a shout out, give us a share if you like what we're doing. We really appreciate your support. It's actually what helps us keep going. So, all right, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.